Hey, good morning. Today we're going to look at some examples for verbal expressions in one-step equations. This, along with doing one-step equations with word problems, is what your activity will be for today. So let's look at the first one. We have a verbal expression, which is just an expression that is written out in words. It says 15 less than a number is 26. At the beginning of the year, we talked about how to write numerical expressions from verbal expressions, and we learned that these words right here, less than, is telling us that whatever number comes before it is actually being pushed to the end. Now, it's a little bit different when we're talking about equations, because an equation actually has an answer to it. In this case, it comes after the word is, which means whatever comes before that is going to go on one side of your equation, and this is going to go on the other side. Okay, so when we're talking 15 less than a number, since we don't know what that number is, we have to give it a letter. It doesn't matter what letter you choose. Typically, X and Y are your most common, but you can choose any letter of the alphabet. So I'm just going to call it N for number. Okay, so a number, 15, or negative 15 actually, less than a number. Okay, this is how you would take and set this problem up. Then if you were to solve it, we would draw our line. We have N minus negative 15 equals 26. Okay, so we're going to take and solve this equation the way we normally would. So since it's subtracting a negative, we would then take and add a negative 15. Okay, this will cancel out. Put plus our negative 15. Okay, we have opposite signs, which means we are going to subtract. So 26 minus 15 gives me 11. And I'm left with just the N on this side. Now, let's make sure that we're right. We're saying that negative 15 less than a number is 26. So if I take and plug in this 11 into our equation here, oops, let's try that again. 11 minus negative 15, does it equal 26? So I'm going to change it to adding the opposite. 11 plus 15 does equal 26. So we do have the correct answer. Okay? Here is our next equation or verbal expression. This is a number. We don't know that number, so we can call it whatever variable. You can choose a letter. Divided by 12. Okay, we know we're dividing because it tells us specifically. And then, of course, we've got our answer is negative 17. So we just have to write this out. So a number, I'll use X this time, is being divided by negative 12, or I'm sorry, positive 12. So X divided by 12, and it equals negative 17. Okay, so now we have to solve the equation. So we take, because we're dividing by 12, we're going to multiply by 12 to undo it. We always use our inverse operations. So X equals, and then 17 times 12, which is 204. Actually, it's going to be negative 204 because we do have this negative sign here. Negative times a positive is a negative. Okay? Here is our next one. Twice the value of X is negative 42. When we're talking twice the value of something, okay, that means we're multiplying it by 2, or we're doubling it. Okay? So that means we are multiplying 2 times X, and then it tells us over here it is negative 42. And then we just take and solve it. Okay? Since we're multiplying, we're now dividing. Okay, so X equals, and then negative 42 divided by 2 is negative 21. Okay, here's our next example. A number increased. Okay, so a number that is being increased by 42, and it says that our answer is negative 12. Okay, a number. That means I just choose a variable. Okay, I'll choose a B. Doesn't matter what letter you use. Increased by does mean addition. It's getting higher. So that means we're going to be adding this 42 to B, and we're going to get negative 12. Okay, again, we do inverse operations, so we're subtracting 42 from both sides. This cancels out, leaves me with B, and then I've got negative 12 plus negative 42, so I'm adding them together since they're both negative, and I get negative 54. Okay, here's our next example. Negative 17 times, there's our operation, a number is 272. So you can always start with what comes after that is. That is telling us what our answer is. Okay, negative 17 times a number. So negative 17, we're multiplying, so we're going to use a coefficient and a variable. So negative 17 times, and we can choose any letter we want. I'll choose a y this time. Negative 17 times y equals 272. So take and solve it. We are now going to divide by negative 17. Okay, this cancels out, leaving me with y. Y equals, and then I got 272 divided by negative 17, and I get negative 16. Okay, that's all of our examples for today. If you still have questions, send me a message and let me know. I will see you later. Have a great day.